What up? It's your boy, A Doughboy, and I'm here today with a more, I'd say, advanced guide for the Human Torch. Everything I'm gonna talk about in this video is more tips and tricks on how to improve your gameplay and better wall placement and stuff like that. My suggested combo for him, and hopefully it'll help y'all's gameplay improve. Let's get into it. All right. So, first things first.
I'm clocking some bad guys.
Like I said, I'm not gonna explain how full the basics of the abilities. I'm gonna try to go over the more advanced tips and tricks, stuff that I had to take the time to figure out, you know? So the first thing I would say is the flight. So in Plasma Body, as you know, you move faster. Ooh. But one thing I don't see often in any matches is any Human Torches going straight up or straight down. When you go straight up and down holding your ascend or descend button, you will go faster rather than just moving up. You know, so I'm ascending and descending without having to look up or move my joystick. I'm on controller, by the way, as you can see. So in Plasma Body, just ascend and descend to try to get around quicker and to avoid shots. It's helped me so much in plenty of fights, and I feel once I added this to my arsenal, I started getting out of the fights and out of sticky situations so much faster. The next thing I wanted to talk about is your flame walls. A lot of the times I see a lot of people doing these little walls and stuff, which it's cute, but it's not your full potential. Granted, I know some maps don't allow you to get big shapes, but once you learn your potential, you start making bigger shapes and learning how to connect them more. You have up to 40 meters to make a wall. That is so much distance to play around with. If you go past 40, the walls will not connect. And you need your walls to connect because when you make a shape, and they all connect with no interruptions inside, as you can see with the little effect on the floor in the middle, anything will take damage that's inside of that shape. So you can block off a whole objective with the right placement of fireballs. And you can make them scared to go in this whole area rather than that tiny little spot. So that's my next little tip or trick is you have 40 meters to play with. Don't be scared to make big old walls or big old squares and triangles. Go the distance. Don't make these tiny little stuff. That's just not worth it. If you're gonna save your walls for, I'd say, bigger shapes and when the team's all clumped up. And if you want to try to block them off from a little section or something, you're better off just throwing a few of these down to keep them back and save your wall for when you can make a big shape. Another thing I wanted to talk about is something that I don't see happen too often with other Johnnies. I do it, but not others. But is your dive ability. I do not see many Johnnies diving, and if they do, they tend to dive in a bad situation. They tend to dive themselves into the fight and they end up dying. Because when you dive into a fight, your only way of escape is your Plasma Body, and even then that's not super reliable. So it's I tend to save my dive for when I need to get out of a situation. Save your dive as a lifeline. You can use it to quickly confirm a kill of somebody trying to run away And how you would do that is like just like throw a fireball in front of them and then try to dive onto it. And then that'll kill them who's running. Or save it for when you need to get away. So use your dive for an escape or to confirm someone running away. Don't just dive into a fight and use it to engage a whole team or anything. Like that's not good. Only use it to confirm a kill. Like what you could do, for example, is when you have a big old wall down, is you'll target whoever's the lowest in that.
Double kill.
And then when you slam anything, the fireballs you made your wall with, they will also explode. Whichever one you're close to. And it doesn't end your firewall. So pretty much like you could place it up and try to lure them into one of them. Then you would just do lots of damage. So yeah. Save your meteor to confirm a kill or to get out.
I'm clocking some bad guys.
All right. So next thing I wanted to talk about is like technicalities and stuff when it comes to your fireballs and your firewalls. So when you're placing your firewalls, you want the walls to connect. Because when they connect, anything that's inside of it will take damage over time. Just like if you were to hit them with a fireball right next to them. So here's a little example. Boom, 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 and boom. They'll be inside of this square. Oh, shoot. All right. So here's a good example. If you have any obstruction, it can stop your square or whatever shape you're going for from connecting, and it won't damage anybody in it. So you have to make sure that your fireballs, wherever you put them, will have, they have open sight between each one. So then anything that's in it will take damage. And you can't go up and down stairs. Because like it has a height difference. Like you can go a little bit of height, but you can't go fully downstairs and drop stuff. So like you could go the middle of the stairs and make a square. And it'll count. But it would not count if I were to try to make it just a bit taller. See? Because then it would just make a triangle. Sometimes it would still try to make the square, but it doesn't fully connect. So you want to make sure whenever you put your fireballs that they all have a line of sight to each other. It's like you can go around walls and stuff, just make sure the fireballs connect. Or like they can see each other in a sense. Like you can cover this whole area with a square and anything in it will die. You just have to make sure they connect. If you happen to just slight any obstruction for it, will stop you from making one that connects. And then they have to walk over your wall to take damage. So you really want to save making your flame wall for when you have a big shape. That's my suggestion. Try not to do that. I honestly don't think that's worth it. You're better off like trying to surround them in a little square and then diving on them than like trying to entrap one person in a tiny little triangle. So my suggestion, tip, trick is go big. Make a big square and triangle, none of them tiny little ones. And make sure they connect. Because, like, you can go indoors and stuff. You can make indoors not safe. Your fireballs just have to be able to see each other. Oh, see, I threw that one back. See, it hit a wall right there. That one's no good. But if I set it to where I don't mess up, Even indoors isn't safe.
Wow, 4 in a
So it's just all about placement. Your walls are like key as Johnny. You want your walls and your mines. Because with the mines, any squishy, all you need is 2 or 3 and you will most likely get a kill. Like you just gotta throw it to. Oh, hold on. Let's wait for her to respawn real quick. All right, take 2.
Double kill.
Jeez, that was bad. Hold on. Jeez, I'm sorry. 1, 2, boom. That leaves her 1 tap.
That's
Anyone
3.
with 275.
Rock.
I did that a little too fast.
Wow, 4 in a row.
So ideally, anybody, you want to just try to trap them around 2 and slam into them when they're by those.
5. That's amazing.
It's even better if you could slam on them with 3. That'll just guarantee a kill.
6 in a row. Way to go.
So, tip, trick, save your walls for big shapes
Let's cook some more.
and use.
Ooh, you got burned.
And when you want to try to block off like a little section,
That's 3.
you're better off just throwing some of these down. Alrighty, well that's the end of the video. Those are my tips and tricks for the Human Torch. I'm sure I left some stuff out, but if you guys got any questions or tips yourself, leave them in the comments below, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Later.